Hello and welcome to the news desk at 3 on Nta News24 live in Abuja. I'm Comfort Amadu. Good to have you join us. About 60 captives held by bandits in Birnin Gwari local government area of Kaduna State have been released without any payment or ransom. This follows an agreement by the bandits to surrender and end terror activities in the area. NTA correspondent in Birnin Gwari via telephone reports that the released captives have undergone initial medical screenings at Birnin Gwari General Hospital, and the local government authorities are now making arrangements to bring them to Kaduna for further medical examination. In other news, the federal government has secured a loan facility of $134 million from the African Development Bank to boost seed and grain production in the country. Minister of Agriculture and Food Security Abubakar Kyari disclosed this while flagging off the 2024-2025 dry season farming activities in Calabar, Cross River State. The goal is to ensure that the country becomes self-sufficient in key staple crops such as wheat, rice, maize, sorghum, soybean and cassava. Abubakar Kyari announced that Cross River and 16 other states will participate in wheat production during the season. 250,000 wheat farmers will receive support with subsidized agricultural inputs to cultivate about 250,000 hectares with an expected output of approximately 750,000 metric tons of wheat to be added to the food reserve. Additionally, the program will support 150,000 rice farmers in its second phase, covering all 37 states, including the FCT, with an expected output of around 450,000 metric tons. Our farmers are calling for the reintroduction of a bill before the National Assembly for the establishment of the National Rice Development Council of Nigeria. The council aims to provide guidance on rice research and the comprehensive development of the rice sector. Musa Babatli reports.
Nigeria has retained its position as the largest producer and consumer of rice in Africa. This is based on the 2023 report of Food and Agriculture Organization of the United Nations on rice production in Africa. However, farming, processing and marketing of rice have recently faced significant challenges, impacting its prices in the market. In response to these issues, key stakeholders, including Women Farmers Advancement Network and the Federal Ministry of Agriculture, have proposed the establishment of the National Rice Development Council of Nigeria.
It was initially presented in 2022 and it got as far as to the presidency. But unfortunately, it was not read before the end of the administration of the then Buhari administration. So now there is need for us to resubmit, and we need to reconvene, revisit all the content, and to see if we need to upscale some of the ideas that are in there.
Representatives from the farming, processing and marketing sectors are discussing the positive impact the council is expected to have on rice production in the country.
The overall goal is to guide rice research in the country, to build a comprehensive rice sector, and also to collaborate with stakeholders, all aimed at making Nigeria have a self-sufficient and competitive rice sector.
Meanwhile, prices for both processed and unprocessed rice continue to rise across major commodity markets in Nigeria. The high demand for unprocessed rice is contributing to its increased costs, while the prices of processed rice are being driven up by production costs and logistical challenges. Musa Baba Aliyu, NTA News.
In Nasarawa State, government is keen into the food security policy of the federal government through massive land development. With its tractorization scheme, Governor Abdullahi Sule says the scheme has seen the deployment of 26 tractors to local government areas. Details with Aliu Tijani.
additional tractors procured by the state government. Each local government receives 2 tractors, while the remaining 4 will be leased for revenue generation. Governor Abdullahi Sule warns that the tractors must be used for the purpose to which they are meant for, as he encourages farmers to take advantage of the tractors for large-scale farming.
That in our quest to move from hoe and cutlass method of farming to mechanized agriculture, government has procured additional 30 number tractors for distribution to farmers in the state. This is aimed at improving agricultural production and value chain.
Similarly, operational vehicles and motorcycles have been presented to security agencies in the state to enhance patrol and boost security in the state. The governor commends security agencies for the relative peace in the state and tasked them to sustain it.
Let me, at this juncture, appeal to the beneficiaries to ensure judicious use of the vehicles and motorcycles in order to consolidate our strides in the security of our lives and maintenance of property in the state.
Some ministries, departments and agencies in the state also receive operational vehicles.
Use it for the purpose that it was meant for. It said it all. This is to cushion whatever you are going through.
In Lafia, Aliu Tijani, Nta News.
Fake and counterfeit goods not only endanger brand revenue and consumer trust, but can put consumer health and safety at risk. These are some of the reasons for the continuous enforcement exercise by the National Agency for Food, Drug Administration and Control, NAFDAC. Haman Jabani reports that the recent exercise is the raid on an illegal alcoholic drink factory at the Lugbe axis of the Federal Capital Territory.
While counterfeit goods are almost always substandard, as the aim is to gain economic advantage from the goodwill already built by other business brands, the government also loses legitimate revenue. Effectively addressing the counterfeiting of goods in Nigeria protects the health of Nigerians as well as the economic integrity of the nation. The National Agency for Food, Drug Administration and Control, NAFDAC, carried out an operation leading to the classification of adulterated alcohol beverages and the discovery of expired salt with altered expired dates. The enforcement operation, supervised by the Director of Investigation and Enforcement of NAFDAC's Federal Task Force, Shaba Mohammed, is part of effort to curb the circulation of substandard goods, counterfeit and rebranded products.
The people that counterfeit will carry you as an individual and clone you, so you can't differentiate between the original and even the fake. It's only when you take it to the lab that you'll be able to also differentiate that, because the counterfeit, the content will, of course, be different from what is genuinely registered. Then in addition to that too, of course, it's informants that we use. And we rely a lot on the general public because we are not everywhere. So if this information has not been brought to us, of course, we wouldn't have been here. So we have very foolproof monitoring system.
Enforcement activity is going to be intensified. We also have our offices all over the Federation. They are also going to intensify their enforcement action on most of the places where NAFDAC regulatory products are found, particularly in the market areas and premises where drugs and other products are being sold.
The team seized the products and sealed the premises while investigation is ongoing. Hamad Jabani, Nta News.
Health experts say moderation in lifestyle and a balanced diet remains critical to the prevention and management of diabetes. They were discussing how to manage the disease on Good Morning Nigeria as part of activities to mark the 2024 World Diabetes Day. Ekemini Williams reports.
Reports suggest that 5.7% of adults in Nigeria have been diagnosed with diabetes mellitus, a chronic medical condition that is characterized by excess glucose in the blood. Medical experts on the program say that the prevalence level is alarming as now cuts across people of all ages.
If you are normal, it's expected that you take proactive measure to prevent the development of the disease. Okay? And that active measure that you're taking should not start when the disease have developed, but before the development of the disease. So, in other words, those food substances should be taken minimally.
Financial burden on the system, it is huge. It's running into billions and billions of dollars. I've seen estimates ranging between around 100 and 250,000, $1 million annually in terms of cost of the economic burdens of diabetes globally.
They urged people to embrace preventive measures by adopting a healthy lifestyle, which includes adequate sleep, balanced diet, recreational activities, and little or no alcohol intake. They also called for sustained sensitization and awareness campaigns on healthy living, while appealing to government to subsidize healthcare for diabetes patients.
Exercises, on the long run, they can help to make sure the weight is being reduced to a normal weight range. Then talking about the stress management. So stress management is very, very important, because when you don't manage your stress very well, it increases what we call cortisol, which is also known as a stress hormone. So this stress hormone, it makes diabetes worse, because it makes sure there's always sugar in your blood, right? So stress should be managed properly. So you can manage your stress by relaxing. You can go to a park with your family. You spend time, you relax, right? You can go to a cinema, you watch movie for 2 hours, right? You can go maybe to a fancy restaurant with your family, with your partner.
With respect to the health insurance scheme, some of the drugs management used in the treatment of diabetes are part of the scheme. And the problem of recent has been the rising cost of these medications. So we would want to advocate that even the newer agents that have been found to be more effective needed to be included.
60% of diabetes patients, prevention can be done in about 60% of people through lifestyle factors. So that's why we focus a lot on prevention.
To commemorate the day, free screening for diabetes and a diabetes awareness walk has been scheduled for the Old Parade Ground in Abuja Friday morning. In Abuja, Ekemini Williams, Nta News.
The Federal Road Safety Corps Management and Personnel got a thumbs up from the Senate Committee on Federal Character and Intergovernmental Affairs for maintaining professionalism in the discharge of their duties. This was during the oversight visit by the committee to look at or assess the one-year performance of the Corps in relation to budget implementation. National Assembly correspondent Lami Ali reports.
You still are prepared to do more. Like I told you, I've had cause to call, and instantly I saw action. It shows the way the agency is structured, and it is one of the best we have around here.
Intensified efforts at minimizing and reducing road crashes across the 223 unit commands of the FRSC was what elicited these acknowledgements from the legislators. Turning to the financial performance, the committee frowned at the delay in budget release for capital projects to the Corps, asking that it should be innovative, as its revenue from January to October 2024 stands at 1.6 billion naira.
With regard to the capital performance, though that one is not your own fault, the president will bring the budget likely within this month or early next month. And in all ministries, departments and agencies, budget performance stands at 30%, some of them at less than 30%.
It would be good for you to even tell us how many cars are registered with you.
There should be a kind of a tracking system. It might be costly, but it's very key. They say life doesn't have spare.
The Corps Marshal said despite meager resources, the agency would continually strive to attain the global target of reducing road crashes by 50%.
The area where we need to also work on is to build our organizational culture, train them in such a way that they will have a culture of what FRC expected them to be. But with the paucity of funds, we are not able to do that because most of the staff, even after 15-20 years, some just received the basic training that when they were recruited. Outside that, they don't receive any training.
While responding to questions, he explained that the request for its personnel to bear arms was in respect of the armed squad it is seeking to establish for security purposes.
Time now for a breather. More stories ahead.
From the creeks of the Niger Delta to the breathtaking scenery of the plateau, in noonday and nighttime, we set out to bring to you captivating stories that evoke your emotions. For fascinating documentaries and reports on day-to-day issues with expert analysis, tune in to Nta News24, DSTV channel 419, GoTV channel 26, StarTimes channel 101 and 433, and Free TV channel 703.
Effective management of resources by military and security personnel is critical in the ongoing drive to further secure Nigeria and Nigerians. This is the focus of a Strategic Management and Policy Studies Course 7, a flagship program of the Nigerian Army Resource Center aimed at enhancing human development towards attaining professionalism.
As strategic leaders within your various organizations, possessing comprehensive knowledge is vital to your success. This encompasses a broad understanding of various disciplines and human endeavors, extending beyond specific issues or domains. It requires holistic and informed perspectives, enabling informed decision-making and effective navigation of complex challenges.
You have so many equipment, tanks, APCs, and what have you. If you can't manage those things successfully, you cannot perform, they can't perform their responsibility or tasks given to them. It even goes beyond just mere management of those resources. Even the human beings under their care must be catered for administratively. That's why we emphasize administration in the service. But at this level, we're not talking just about administration. It's about the entire packaging.
It's also designed to meet the academic and professional conduct of senior members of the Armed Forces of Nigeria, from the rank of colonels to major generals, as well as their equivalents and the security and intelligence organization. The Nigerian Legion has appealed for financial inclusion in federal government's annual budgetary allocations to enable it to cater effectively for veterans and their families going through challenges. This was during the commemoration of the 2024 Nigerian Legion Humanitarian Day, celebrated in Abuja. Ekenen Dlue reports on this.
It was an occasion organized to honor courageous men and women who have served in various conflicts and peacekeeping missions, a reminder of the need to support and recognize contributions of these heroes, many of whom have faced physical and psychological challenges.
This government has been doing everything possible to support the veterans, to ensure that those who are receiving pension are receiving their pensions on time, complete, and the arrangement of the palliative that the federal government did, the veterans are included.
National Chairman, Nigerian Legion, is grateful to government for its efforts so far. He, however, says funding still remains a challenge.
What we are praying now is we should be included in the budget so that every year there is a certain amount that's coming to the Legion through budgetary allocation, so that the ceremony of Armed Forces Remembrance Day, we will celebrate it as symbolic, not as a period where we should be seen to be begging. Even when we distribute the emblems, it should be a matter of just symbolism.
The day was another opportunity to provide food and financial support to veterans and family members.
End of the year is a critical period that a lot of people look out, how am I going to do the year? How am I going to run the end of the year? And with the little token that we have in Nigerian Legion, National Headquarters, we try to reach out to them to make them happy a bit.
So it's a day we try to take care of the widows and the children left behind.
The health lectures and medical care that followed, the Legion says, is to ensure members remain strong and healthy in retirement. In Abuja, Ekene Ndulue, Nta News.
The leadership of the Nigerian First Foundation is urging citizens to sustain their renewed hope in the oneness of the country. Speaker of the foundation, Vic Moro Ulo, on behalf of Chairman of Board of the Foundation, Sir Mike Okiro, who is a former Inspector General of Police, was speaking during an advocacy visit to member of the House of Representatives, Nnamdi Ezechi, in Abuja.
And until we begin to see national interests above, the country will not succeed, sir.
I call on Nigerians not to lose hope. Nigeria first.
Justice now. Justice now.
Nigeria first.
The primate of the Church of Nigeria Anglican Communion, Most Reverend Henry Ndukuba, has applauded the federal government's effort in education and welfare programs, expressing optimism about the impact on Nigerians' future. Speaking at a conference in Abuja, the primate highlighted the need for continued support in these areas.
That are being implemented, especially the physical, economic, and structures that are being put in place. I was delighted to hear that the TED Fund is not only for building structures in our higher institutions, but also to encourage research and innovation and industrialization.
That now is a time for the government to invest in industries to provide much needed employment for young Nigerians, a move he believes would unlock new opportunities and boost the economy.
Situation will not be solved by giving palliatives only. Yes, palliatives is just for the immediate, but there is need to revive our industries.
With the theme of the conference, Peace Be Still, the primate hopes the discussion will inspire both government and the society to work together for a brighter and more stable future. Let's now bring you some updates on sports.
Super Eagles caretaker coach Augustin Eguavon has declared his team is in Abidjan to beat the Cheetahs of Benin Republic. A point will be enough for the Super Eagles to secure their place at the 2025 Africa Cup of Nations finals to be hosted by Morocco. He also reckoned the Cheetahs head coach Kenneth Raw, who managed the Super Eagles for around 6 years, is familiar with the team and as such insisted they know what to expect from their opponent as well.
The mindset we come into games is to win. But easier said than done. We fight for every ball, we fight for every point, and that's what we want to do tomorrow. In respect to that, Benin is not a pushover, but we will work hard to make sure we achieve our objective.
In tennis, Carlos Alcaraz overcame illness to defeat Andrei Rublev at the ATP Finals in Turin. The 21-year-old Spaniard won 6-3, 7-6 despite cutting short his practice session on Tuesday after struggling with a chest complaint. German second seed Alexander Zverev later claimed his second victory with a 7-6, 6-3 win over Casper Ruud in the John Newcombe group. Zverev will guarantee his place in the semi-finals if he beats Alcaraz in the final round of the group stage on Friday.
Carlos Alcaraz is off the mark here in Turin.
6-3, 7-6.
Sports update that concludes the news at this time. Many thanks for watching. I'm Comfort Amodu.